Hi, welcome back to Truth Rediscovered. I am Georgia, this is
Kamunto.
And you are sitting in the cozy corner today.
Yes, we get cozy and have conversations.
Our snacks today are a lovely fruit salad, talking about the fruit of the spirit.
Smart. I didn't make the connection. I didn't make it until now. And salt and pepper popcorn. 10 out of 10.
Flavored nicely with butter, so delicious. It compliments the chef, which is me. Anyway, so today we're starting off our fruits of the spirit with love. Oh my goodness. So we're gonna start off with our first question, and it's honestly a hard question. Is our first question is, what is your favorite thing about love?
I think I'd have to say my favorite thing about love is how universal it is. Like how everyone has this kind of meta understanding that there's something more to like life, or like more to like relationships, where you like you care about people so deeply, and how it's like something that connects us all.
It's my favorite thing about love. I think loving is just so simple, and it's part of our human nature, right? Like being created by God. God is all about love. So naturally, when he created Adam, he was like, I'm gonna throw a bit of love in there, and then the rest of humanity is like that, right? All those other fruits of the spirit still come down to love. And it's just so easy. Like I couldn't, even if I don't know you, I'm showing love by just having a general respect for you, like giving your seat up on the bus for somebody else, or something like that. Like I think I'm lucky in the sense that I don't struggle with that. Like I don't struggle showing that love and kindness.
Some people
to people.
do.
Yeah. This fruit is bomb, actually.
I'm kind of slapping.
This makes me happy because it's really dark and rainy outside, and I haven't been fully awake since I woke up. So, all right. So the next question is, from your favorite thing about love, we're gonna go into love languages, which I think is a really huge thing right now. I'm gonna eat this piece of popcorn sheet off.
I know. I'm talking about.
What's love languages and why are they important? So I can list the 5. I always forget one. So
We'll figure it
there's physical touch, there's quality time, there's acts of service, there's gifts, and there's words of affirmation. Yo!
You got it!
Yo! Yeah. Amazing. So those are the kind of universal
Accepted.
5 love languages that everybody needs, but you can take like quizzes online, like if you want to show which one that you personally answer a whole bunch of questions, and it shows you what love language is your love language. And love language is basically just like, how do you need love? Some people, they really, really love getting gifts, and if I don't get you a gift, they're not going to feel loved. Other people absolutely adore physical touch.
Yeah.
Oh my goodness, can you drive me to this place? And they're like, yeah, that's totally acts of service.
Can you go get my water for me?
Yeah, exactly.
In my house. Yeah.
I said gifts, I said hugs, I said, words of affirmation.
Yeah.
They need to be encouraged a lot. You know, they thrive off of positive reinforcement and everything like that. And then the last quality time. I could sit in a car with you. They're that type of person
and
where
just
and just be in another person's presence, and that's how they like being loved. Like you don't have to buy them anything like that, but if you just sit beside them, they like it.
Like a lot of people, like I said before, everyone kind of has a general understanding of what like love. You know, they have some notion of it. They've understood through like their upbringing,
experienced it.
Yeah. And then they compare themselves to other people, other relationships, or whoever's out there, how they're showing love. They don't see it the same in themselves and people around them, and in that comparison you start to think, you just create false notions about like what's happening around you, the people that love you, and people how they share it to you,
and that it can really ruin relationships, not knowing how people receive love. Because even if I'm showing you in the way that I know how, and you're not receiving it, it's not going to work.
And even if you understand that, say I know this person loves me, it's the matter of like what's going to deepen your relationship actually. How do I get to you? How do I reach you when I really want to show you that I love you?
I think it's also really important to mention that the way that we receive love isn't also how we show love. right? So you might be a physical touch type person, you love getting hugs, but your way of showing people love is acts of service, right? So there is really that distinction that you also need to know about yourself. Now we can go back to Kamuto Moringa. What is your love language?
That's crazy. I'm telling you, the tabloids.
I know.
So I would say I actually do this every single time. I go through what it's not. Okay. I know it's not quality time. Like, oh, this is for receiving. It's not receiving. This is for receiving.
Okay.
It's not quality time. Like, I love a lot of people, and like us not spending time together, it doesn't make me feel like, oh, I'm losing touch with them, or I'm at a distance, right? Yeah. You know, like, oh, our relationship is weaker now. You know, like I have friends I haven't been in the same room with for like 8 months, and I'm like, these are some of my closest friends. You know what I mean? So I know it's not quality time. I know it's not words of affirmation, because
this girl she creates her own confidence. She doesn't need it from
like,
anybody
it's just
else.
like, I'm like, okay, like, thanks for telling me, like, I appreciate it.
But I already knew.
It's also like, I'm like, sometimes I feel like words, like, how true can they be, you know?
Yeah,
like,
exactly.
it feels kind of empty, you know? What are the other ones? Gift giving? It might be gift giving, because,
no, I can actually see that.
you know?
Yeah.
It's kind of, it feels selfish, or it feels like, not conceited, but vain.
Yeah.
You know, to be like, oh yeah, I like gift giving, but it's really the concept of someone like going out of their way thinking about me,
yeah, and
bringing me something like for me. Or
you're saying
like,
this isn't 7 carats? Nah, bro, take it back.
I don't need it, bro. I don't need it. No, exactly. It might be gift giving and physical touch, and the last one is
acts of service.
Yeah, it's not acts of service. So I would say gift giving first, then physical touch, then acts of service, and then at the bottom somewhere is words of affirmation and quality time.
Yeah. I just like to say that the mango in this fruit salad as well, it's actually good.
It's such a time. It is such a time.
It's pretty good.
I'm enjoying it so much. I'm nervous because every time I go, I'm afraid I'm not going to get anything on my report. But it's everything right now.
It's fine.
So what about you? What do your love languages look like?
My love languages, I can do the same thing as you. I'll go from the bottom up.
Okay.
Last one for me, gift giving, which is so funny because you love gifts, but I like gifts. If you like same thing, like if you think of me, like, oh, that's cool, but I really don't need you to give me anything. Like, I don't really care. Like, I'll always be able to like pay for a meal myself and like do whatever. I don't need things. Like, yeah, of course I appreciate it, like if you buy me a birthday present, things like that, but it's not like something
cool, but
yeah, but it's not something I need. I can agree with you of words of affirmation. I like hearing that I do a good job, but like at the same time, like I'm such an overthinker, and then I kind of go through my whole process, and I'll figure it out on my own.
Actually, it's like for me, words. It's like, doesn't matter what you tell me. Yeah, have to be what I tell me.
Yeah, exactly.
You know.
Continuing on with my list, physical touch is so interesting because my parents aren't all that touchy. So from not having it as much as a kid, like it's something that I like, but I'm not sure how to receive it. Like I don't know how to explain it. I'm okay with you hugging me, but like I would rather come to you for a hug. My next one, acts of service and quality time. It's so funny because yours isn't quality time. Mine is absolutely quality time. It doesn't even have to be like you plan an event, like let's go on a date, something like that.
Yeah.
If you ask me, hey, I need to run errands, do you want to sit in the car with me? I am the happiest person on the planet because you thought of to go with me. And that's your moment to really get to know a person, depending on how you are. And then acts of service. You don't have to do things for me, but like if you pick me up from work instead of me taking the bus, like, that's nice. But I think I definitely like show acts of service because that's one of my mom's love languages, is that she appreciates acts of service. I show a lot of acts of service because of that.
Because you've learned that like that's one thing that like is received well. Yeah.
Everybody likes people doing things for you. That could be like the people pleaser in me. It could be toxic, but like it's okay. Yeah,
it's a hard love language because for people that you love a lot, sometimes you do acts of service at the cost of yourself.
Acts of service is dangerous now that I think about it, because it could be I'm doing this because I love you, but could it be I'm doing this so you love me? because that's actually so dangerous. Right? We'll go to the next question. How does God demonstrate love languages?
Yes.
So different examples in the Bible that we can find. It might just be the same ones and all that kind of stuff. But how does God demonstrate love languages? Because if we can discern them here, they clearly existed back then too.
Like we're not that creative. But I think for that question, we can definitely go to like examples that Jesus has shown.
Yeah.
You know,
Jesus is God.
there's definitely in other circumstances, God has shown love and like shown love languages.
Sorry.
But like there can be so clear if you look at Jesus' example. Yeah, and more comparable to humans. Quality time.
Quality time. Yeah, that one's so easy. He found all his disciples and he spent 3 years on the road with them.
And wherever he went, and this is something that's seen a lot in the Bible, wherever they went, they sat and they broke bread together.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah, that's actually true.
That's
Any single time that they stop somewhere, they always have a meal. They sit down and they talk and they share stories and things like that and different experiences. Yeah, it's actually such a good time. Quality time. 8.
Quality time. There it is.
Healed something.
And by the way, though, if you have any other examples that are coming to mind,
absolutely
drop them down below.
Yes.
You know what I mean? In the comment section.
We're not experts.
There.
I mean, gifts. Or Jesus gave so many gifts of healing people. He gifted them with the Holy Spirit after he left.
That's so true. That's so true. That's a big one. He said, like, I'm leaving, but here, take this.
This will help you.
That's a gift if I ever seen it. Yeah.
And it's such a good one because it's like he left, but then he left something that reminds them of him. Yeah.
And he knows they need.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah. Physical touch.
Physical touch is a good one.
Anytime Jesus healed somebody,
yes,
basically, he also said, like, he laid his hand upon him.
He
or
came close.
Yeah.
He, like, wiped from the eye or something. Like, he did something close up and personal.
Yeah.
And in other places in the Bible, in the concept of, like, anointing, I know this might be like a tangent or reach or something, but to me it means something that there's like a physical experience you go through with anointing you had with oil, rather than God just being like,
you're anointed.
You're anointed. Like, I chose him. Like,
I think even with like the blind man where he like spat in the dirt and then you put the dirt on his eyes, like he probably remembers that moment of like seeing with wiping his eyes off. Acts of service is the next one.
I mean, that was his whole thing.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Constantly, like, wherever he went, he was looking for, like, to help people. A lot of that was through healing.
Yeah.
He saw the need and, like, fulfilled it.
Another example.
Also, like, dying on the cross.
Yeah. You know? That was the biggest act of service. Thank you.
Thank you.
But one I was thinking of was when he washes the feet of the disciples right before. Literally, the king of the world did that act of service to his disciples.
You know, he's saying goodbye to his disciples.
Yeah.
He's like, I want to do this thing for you. Peter's like, nah, like, you don't need to. Like, he's like, listen, Peter, sit down.
Yeah.
You know, let me take care of you for like 1 second.
The last one is words of affirmation.
Yep. The woman who touched his garment. And the
That's
woman
a good
who
one.
made that donation in the temple.
Yeah.
If you ever saw someone do something like outstanding as enough sense that it was like crazy, but the fact that it was like it stood out.
Yeah.
You know, he always remarked it and like affirmed them for it. You know, like touch his garment. He said something like, "You have the most faith."
You know, she just wanted to like slink back and whatever, but he wanted to acknowledge it and tell her. He was like, "You have so much faith," right? So yeah, you're right. That's a really good one.
That's absolutely. I mean, words of affirmation.
Words of affirmation. Why does God want us to love others? It's such a big question that you really need time to think about it. Because you could say like, oh, because God loves us. Right? That's such a like it's a good answer. Like obviously that's it's the answer. But
God
why
wants us
is
to be like him? Like I get it.
But why?
What's coming to mind is that love just has the capacity to bring so much beauty to this world, and without it, like we would actually be in the darkest of depths.
Like God, Jesus, they were so hard to keep the love in the world because basically having love is probably your biggest defense against Satan.
Yeah, I see
Right?
it. Yeah.
Because if you have love, as God says, the first commandment is love your God and only him, and then love your neighbor as yourself, right? Those two main like commandments, if you follow those things and you just show kindness and love and all these things, God is going to change your character to be more like him. And when you're more like him, you're less likely to sin and go astray. What does Satan want? For you to not be like God. So to not be like God, you have to be a person without love.
Because God is love.
God is literally love.
So like love and love existing on this earth is the way that God's like, it's like God's deposits on this earth.
Yeah.
And if Satan, like, it's really what is low keeping Satan at bay. Not like that much big, still like he's working, but like so very soon he's gonna be vanquished. Don't worry.
Oh Lord, don't worry.
But it is really like without love in people, like we would just we'd belong to Satan.
The dark.
We belong to the dark.
Like when he created Adam, he created him with love, and he put it in there, and then it goes down all the generations and everything like that. Like if he hadn't done that, what would be the point?
And that's so important at the end of a conversation about love languages, because like until now it's really been like self-sufficient or like produced. Like I love by doing this, I, right? But like truly, love has to come from somewhere other than just like
giving yourself the credit. Yeah.
You know, and if you only dig into your own reserves as well to love, you're gonna run out. Like it's gonna be hard.
God, his relationship with us, he chooses to love us every day. It's a choice to love people. You're always going to get frustrated with people. You're always going to be annoyed with them. You're going to get mad at them and everything like that. But having a feeling doesn't last. You're not always going to be happy. You're not always going to be sad. You're not always going to love, right? But you have to make that choice to be like, you are more important to me than like whatever that you've done, right? Obviously, us as humans, sometimes it's hard to forgive and to love and all that kind of like get perspective of that thing. But even if you like break up with somebody, you have a fight with your mom and all these kinds of things, it's like I need my time to cool down, but I also need to make the choice that just because you did that thing doesn't make you any less of a person to me. You always have to choose to love people. Dang, it's gone deep really fast.
I think it's perfect way to end it.
I think it really,
Alright, so I guess that brings us to the close of this conversation we've had about the fruit of the spirit, love and love languages. I hope you can. Still genius. Like, still love it. I hope that you've taken something away from this conversation and that you'll join us again when we talk about the following fruits of the spirit. The next ones coming up, I think, is
2 weeks.
Joy in 2 weeks. What? That's an interesting one too, and that's gonna be an interesting video, so tune in.
If you have anything to add to the conversation, please write it in the comments. We actually want to read your comments because I think this is a very fueled conversation. I could keep going about this topic forever, but we'll let you go. I'm sure this video is probably long enough as it is.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe.
Thank you so much for joining us in the Cozy Corner, and we'll see you next time. Bye.